All right, I'm seeing a lot of videos being put out about grief and about recovering from grief. Um, these is kind of the key points I'm trying to work on establishing with you about with love. Yes, it hurts and it's sad when we lose a loved one. No doubt. No doubt at all. And sometimes we do actions or things that before they died that we feel this grief or this guilt and this transition of empathy that we did something wrong and they'll never forgive me type kind of meaning. I want you to understand why you're alive and you love people, all right? And they say or do something wrong against you, but you love them. You just letting them vent, giving them time because you don't want to deal with them while they're angry. But then something tragically happens, you die. All right, you know you love them and you know you forgive them, but they don't. So they suffer with that knowledge that, oh my gosh, I said this, I did this. What a horrible person I am. They'll never know I really loved them. Wrong. When you love someone, they know true love. They know you really love them. Even though you say or you do things or actions that may not be in the right, and sometimes they apply discipline by ignoring you or letting you go for a while so you can play your juvenile role and learn to find your way and come back to them. That story of letting love go, and if it's true love, it will return. So, no, as far as grief goes, that's the whole point. We have something we love that filled our heart and it's gone. So now we have this void and we feel lost and we don't know how to recover that feeling and continue with our joy and bliss that we had. It creates a distraction in our hearts and minds. So that's where the grief, formulates into a problem. But you got to learn to realize love is the treasure of heaven. So if you truly love someone with all your heart, God knows you do. And that's your treasure. He promised, I will store your treasures in heaven. You never lose the ones you love. Trust me. When my son died, 2 weeks before his birthday, he stuck a key in an outlet on the only register that was grounded out. And I was in the shower at the time. And I believe I must have laid the keys down on the microwave stand. Normally we had a key rag. We were pretty safety oriented. But honestly, later on in the story, I'll prove to you that really didn't matter. This was something happened here that I can't really explain to you. All I know is I was in the shower. Me and Mindy, this is the first time we were ever leaving our son alone, and we were going to go on a canoe trip with my parents. And I wasn't taking a shower. I just cleaned out the car so she could pack it. And I hear them scream, call 911. And I freaked out because they said it 3 times in a row. And I heard someone say, oh my gosh, Jacob. Oh, my heart stopped. So I was buck naked, shampoo in the hair, coming running out of the shower. And I seen my son on my father-in-law's shoulders, face purple. Well, see, I had a disabled brother, and I've been in the Roofers Union most of my life, so I've always been trained in CPR and first aid. So I immediately went into code and grabbed my son. I took him to the floor and started performing infant-styled CPR. And the whole time I did it, I was relaying out of my mouth very loudly while she was on the phone. No pulse, performing airwave restrictions, going to perform CPR, doing chest compressions, and I explained as I went along because that's how I was trained. That's what I was told to do. And literally 45 minutes. I mean, I'm exhausted. I'm getting wore out. There just happened to be a firefighter outside. The front door was wide open at this point because they were trying to wait and flag down the ambulance. And a crowd was starting to form out in front of the house. And a firefighter, retired firefighter, he seen what I was going through, and he was trained CPR, including infants. So he came in to try and relieve me, even though 45 minutes CPR, he kind of knew. But it was devastating, and he just wanted to try and do the right thing. See, back in those days, at this particular time, 94, there was this popular show, 9/11. And usually on this show, everybody recovered. Heart stopped, boom, they give a shot, steroids to the heart, boom, this person wakes right up. There's always they survived. You call 911. On this particular day that this happened to my son, the reason why it took so long for the ambulance to get there my son died on July 8th. So it was after the 4th, but there was still the Cherry Festival. A lot of things going on, a lot of traffic, a lot of alcoholics. So there was a lot of incidences that, the EMS was quite busy. So we actually ended up receiving they were college students that were earning their degrees in EMS and whatnot. But either way, they showed up, they come along, and I am still, because I took off for the firewire by the time they came there, because I was still concerned, and what I thought I kept feeling as a heartbeat, it was actually fibrillation from the electrical shock and his nerve endings and what it was going through. So I thought that's why I took over. Is that, no, he's still going, because the firefighter was quitting. And I said, no, I could feel it. I felt a pulse. So I started taking over again, and the EMS team showed up. They started loading them up, and I'm still continuing my routine. I said, no, we got to stay on track. Meanwhile, nobody even seems to realize I am buck naked, shampoo in my hair, because I had hair at the time. But yeah, I'm still continuously going, and finally we get up to the EMS. We get in there, and they're starting to take over. They put an adult-size air respirator on them, which is twice the lung capacity a small child has. And I'm watching this lung grow twice the size, and I'm trying to tell him, I said, whoa, 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 you got the air too high. That's too much for him. And they realize now, shampoo, dick sticking out. Wait, you're not part of you got to go. We can't take you to the hospital looking like that. So they kicked me out of the ambulance, and whatever. Now 911's here. They're gonna save him. So I went in, I rinsed out my hair, I got dressed, and we rushed to the hospital. And I think it was like 6.5 hours or something like that. They were dedicated. They did everything they could. And believe it or not, this is the first time in the history of Traverse City Hospital, Toll-Free Memorial, that it was Munson. Everybody that was in that room with my son, they all had to seek counseling. Weeks of counseling from the experience of this situation with my son. But the worst part is after they finally clarified him dead, I went in the room, and I had my moment of tears and sorrow. But I wanted because I gave my son the curly hair. I take credit for it, because the whole time I rocked him, I was rubbing his head. I loved that boy so much. And so I wanted one more time. So I put his diaper back on, I washed the blood off, I pulled all the tubes and shit from him and the IVs, and I took him over to the rocking chair in the corner, and I just sat there and I rocked him. I lost track of time, but apparently like 2.5 hours went by, and they were begging somebody, please, it's got to go in there, and we got to take care of the body. And the only body who had the guts and courage was Jacob's mom, my old lady, Mindy Bismack's brother, Jimmy Bismack. He had to go in there and pull my son from my arms and get me out of the room. And I've never in my life ever seen a sadder face on a man. I've never seen the life just literally leave a man's soul to do what he had to do. And I so immensely feel sorry for that man to have to experience that. And I know it's still in his head and his heart. But, yeah.